So in the past week, instead of giving us the back to school sale, Apple decided to give us some price increases on the MacBooks. So I bought one from Best Buy before they could update their prices as well. So fingers crossed. I am so excited for this. I put it in a grocery bag. So that is the M5 Pro MacBook Pro 14 inches. Ever since I was a little child, a small little jit, I wanted one of these. I was like, wow, this is really neat. And I never could afford one or have a reason to own one until now. So I'm just glad I was able to pick this up at its original normal price and not the crazy AI inflated RAM price. I feel very lucky to have been able to catch this at this time. But yeah, let's get this thing unboxed. It's unboxing time. MagSafe. Before this 2020 MacBook Air, I had a 2015 MacBook Pro. This is giving me a lot of deja vu because it has the ports, it's in silver, it's got MagSafe. It will never look this clean ever again. So that's what you get in the box. Very straightforward. Glorious, glorious ports. That is wonderful. Oh, the 120 hertz is so smooth. Okay, data transfer time. Let's do a side by side with the MacBook Air. See that the Air is well loved. All right, setup time.
Several days later.
So I just got off of work, so I'm here. Yeah, I've been using this thing for a couple days. I got this, I think, on Thursday. So I've been using this for a couple days now, and yeah, let's talk about it. So yeah, I've moved all my data to this thing. I've been using it as my everyday laptop. Here are my thoughts. So first off, I'm loving the new ports on here, or should I say old ports, because I did have these pretty much the exact same port selection on my 2015 MacBook Pro. And then when I got my MacBook Air M1, they got dusted. It was only USB-C at that point. So yeah, now they are back. We got HDMI, SD card slot, pretty much everything but USB-A. Although I kind of hate USB-A, so not a huge issue. And finally, MagSafe is back. Loving the MagSafe. Missed it on my M1 Air. To be honest, I haven't really used it because my Mac has been sitting on my desk most of the time. But it's nice to have that peace of mind because eventually I will be out and about, charging my laptop in all sorts of random places. And MagSafe is really handy. Display is really nice as well. 120 hertz, super nice, buttery smooth. Although honestly, when I tried using my M1 Air last night, I didn't really miss it, right? M1 Air is only 60 hertz, but it's not a huge difference. I feel like 120 hertz isn't as important on a laptop as on a phone because a lot of that time it's just displaying a static screen like a document or something. The mini LED is really nice. It honestly feels like OLED. The colors are sharp and vibrant. Blacks are nice and deep. As for blooming, due to the dimming zones, it's not that noticeable, even in the dark, unless you're viewing something like white text or white buttons on a dark background. But not just kind of funny, I've already gotten used to it for the most part, although I don't like how sometimes if I have too much stuff on the right side of the menu bar, it just kind of nukes some stuff, right? For example, my stats app completely disappears when I open another menu bar app, such as my timer app Oro. But yeah, overall the screen feels modern and sleek, the bezels are really nice, and the 14-inch size is honestly the perfect middle ground for me. I also like how this thing supports multiple displays because my M1 Air, it only supported one external display. So this is a nice improvement. So now I can have YouTube Shorts on all 3 displays. Now, in terms of performance, it's snappier and smoother overall, but I know I'm not using its full potential most of the time. Like, I know this thing is overkill for what I do, simple 1080p YouTube videos, but I'm confident knowing that I've got performance headroom for years. I plan to keep this thing for like 8 years, and hopefully by that time, computer prices have settled down again. So 2034, here we come. But yeah, I've tried running a Windows virtual machine on this thing because I've got plenty of cores, 24 gigs of RAM, so plenty of RAM, and I want to be able to run SolidWorks on this thing. I do have a Windows PC for SolidWorks, but I want to be able to do at least some quick CAD if I need to on the go, and it runs acceptably. It's fine for a quick CAD, but if you're getting a machine specifically for engineering software or SolidWorks, don't get this thing. If y'all want a tutorial on how to do this though, let me know in the comments and I'll see if I can make one. I'm using VMware Fusion, which is not Parallels, so running Windows on this machine is 100% free. VMware Fusion is free. Parallels costs money. Of course, you do need to have a SolidWorks license, like through your school or you buy one, but I digress. Just for fun, I opened every app I have installed on this machine, and yeah, the fans did ramp up. I could hear them. But it was still semi-usable, and realistically, I'd never come close to that level of load on the computer. But yeah, other than that, battery life has been great. I have active cooling again through the 2 fans, which is great. I was originally only going to plan to get the M5 base model, which has only 1 fan. With the M5 Pro, you actually get 2 fans, whether or not you're on the 16-inch or the 14-inch model, so that's a nice quality of life upgrade. Build quality feels great, nice and robust, and the silver is just timeless. Really throwing me back to my 2015 Pro, and it just looks so clean. Practically speaking, it'll age better too, because as the machine gets scratched up because I'm clumsy, the natural color of the aluminum will be silver, so the scratches will blend right in, whereas the darker color, it'll be more obvious. Another thing is that on my M1 Air, because I'm a crusty dusty little dude, in the space gray color, you can kind of see where my palms were sweaty because they wore away on the space gray color, and I feel like it would look even worse on a space black in a couple of years. Another reason why I got the silver one. Overall, I'm really excited to use this machine as my main computer for the foreseeable future, until the AI rampocalypse stops. But before I end this video, I want to give my M1 MacBook Air a proper send-off. I have a couple videos planned that I want to edit on the M1 MacBook Air, so it's not completely retired yet, but most videos going forward, for now, will be edited on this M5 thing. But yeah, rest in peace, my M1 MacBook Air. Long live the M1 MacBook Air. I got this thing 4 years ago when I was a little jit who was halfway through high school. Now I'm halfway through uni and I'm upgrading again to the M5. But this Mac is what got me through like the rest of high school. It got me through the first 2 years of uni. And if it wasn't for all this RAM nonsense, I'd still be using it for another 2 to 3 years, honestly, and then getting whatever MacBook Pro is available then. The M1 Air was the computer that I used to edit pretty much all of the videos on this channel since 2022. And it's helped me grow the channel to where it is at now. Like, I owe a lot to this little machine here. Like, we've been through a lot together. But that's pretty much it for this video. Thanks for watching to the end. I'll definitely be doing some long-term reviews of this thing, student day in the life vlogs, so be sure to stay tuned for those. I'm looking forward to making a bunch of cool stuff with this machine. Thanks for watching, be awesome, and stay techie. And don't forget to touch grass. Bye! I'm downloading Windows 11 virtual machine on this thing. I am under a blanket right now.